if we take the process of reverse engineering, how some people say it, and just go to the buyers first, then there's one lens to look at it. But if we approach wholesaling from like everywhere, there's transactions everywhere, right? There's a local millionaire and a local flipper everywhere, right? So as long as you're economically in a good market and somewhere where margins actually exist, there's money to be made. So I could go to a market that I could go to a random place in Arkansas, right? St. Francis County, Lawrence, St. Francis County, um, and say, okay, where are the deals happening here? Where is the new development in this area? Where is the gentrification for this area? As long as margins exist and there are people moving, jobs, yada,
Mhm.
that's it. You can wholesale there. You can technically acquire there. I care about horse depreciation over time. 10, 15, 20 years. Is the city going to be worth more money? And is where I bought going to be of more value? But if we're just talking about wholesaling at the base layer, if you can identify a margin, then you can go and play it. Right.
Right, right, right.
That's it.
Yeah, cool, cool.
So yeah, I love the competing markets, but sometimes, I can go in certain areas and not compete with anyone. Say, hey, I'm gonna come here and be one of the only people that is gonna give you a strategic financing offer of half cash, half finance, because we're the only person doing that in Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah,
Right?
had an interesting discussion with the realtor on that one, that 900K. That was
Yeah.
the hybrid. Yeah, that was interesting.
Right?
She
Right?
she was like, "Well, how many deals have you done?" I'm skeptical.
Right? Exactly. Like this is good. This is too good. But where have you been? What have you been doing? Where'd you come from with this offer? It's like,
Well,
oh,
I ended up telling her, I said, Tina, if we're coming to the closing table with a bag with $450,000 in cash in it, that indicates we're pretty serious, doesn't it?
right. Hey man, that's game. That's game. All
So,
right.
you know, she understood after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's truly that is talking that talk, John. That's just how you hey look, if the money itself doesn't prove that I'm serious, it's like sometimes
Nothing will.
these proof of funds conversations I just laugh at. I'm like, okay, I could go and get a proof of funds I could go and get this check that says, hey, here's what it is. But we haven't even gotten all the underlying information for underwriting yet. So you're trying to get me to prove that I'm even worthy of this transaction. You haven't proved whether you're worthy of this transaction. Right? So what do you mean? Like we haven't decided we're going to close yet. You've you've asked for this.
Let me ask you a question on that regarding proof of funds, and this is
Yeah,
relevant to a file right now that
yeah,
you and I have discussed. An elderly couple, they're
yep.
skeptical. They don't do like DocuSign. They do wet signature only, old school like that. They're indicating that they may not want to sign a contract without a POF.
Then we still do the contingent contract. We say, okay, look, if I'm gonna go, is that property? Where is that property on that? Where is that?
That was
That Rockwall, Texas, or is that the Pueblo?
Henry Chandler in Rockwall.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. All right. So it's technically going to be a financed offer. So I can send them a pre-approval letter in 15 minutes.
Okay. They're going to want to see something like that with the contract.
Yeah. That's all they're going to want is like
And
some
that's the only barrier to getting it signed tomorrow.
solid. We'll get a proof of funds letter, a pre-approval letter because
Okay.
we're not both of them. We're not going to be
Okay.
the one. So I don't like providing proof of funds as like what's a politically correct way. I don't like it for like ego representation. Just say, all right, we got it, we're good. Here's why she goes. We could do that on several offers, right? And then they're going the even the expectation of how they want us to handle the offer, of asking for more earnest money. I one.
I think part of the reason we're kind of stuck on it, to be honest with you, is in I had this discussion with the realtor when we first made contact, is they had a wholesaler in a deal, and for whatever reason, it fell out because they couldn't perform.
Mhm.
And it turned out the wholesaler wasn't able to get their financing that they had planned on, yada yada. Okay, you know the story. So they're a little gun shy. So I kind of understand why they want, some kind of backup on that. It kind of makes sense given what happened to them before.
Yeah,
Um, I did tell the realtor and said this is typically not our standard way of doing it, but we'll see if we can make an exception because of your clients and what their experience has been.
yeah,
So, but it's a 45-minute drive one way for the realtor to go out and get the wet signatures. So it'll probably be tomorrow. Um, if we can provide the POF, and it's on a Trek condo contract, not a Trek res.
right, right, because it is
And
a
she wanted me to pass that along as a reminder. She reminded me as well.
good deal. Good deal. No, that's a good one. No, that's a
That,
good one.
yeah, it's a good one.
All right. We are gonna go ahead and get rolling here. I make one call and we'll sprint off. Off. Um, good deal. Um, keep this guy updated. All right. Right. Cool. So, John, you got stuff. You got stuff.
Yeah, I've got stuff to look at here. Um, I don't know what direction you want to go. Um, yeah, oh yeah, on that one I need the Novation offer as well. And then on 80 El Rio.
John, ceiling for any area? You have issues?
No, 80 El Rio is not the Novation. 80 El Rio is the one where we just got a counter back. Pull that up here. 80 El Rio. Yeah, in Alamosa, Colorado.
Right.
Okay. So on this one, I did not note down what the ceiling price would be. That's the only question I had. What your thoughts were for a ceiling on this one? We started at 232. He countered at 289, and I had a conversation with the realtor today. That's very old.
What did I give you for an anchor price?
Yeah.
And what did I get it for an anchor price?
Oh, that's the problem. I did not. An anchor. I'm sorry. The anchor was 232. That was. I'm not sure that was when I was having problems with my Google Sheets. I had a different address on that.
No worries. 32. Yeah, I think we might be stuck at around 250, 255.
I'm 90% sure we can get 250 to 255.
Yeah, that's my big like top ceiling.
Okay, 255 ceiling. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, that's good news.
Try
Yeah.
and like nickel and dime that
Oh,
negotiation.
I will. I will, believe me.
Right.
But knowing where the wall is
Yeah,
was the issue there.
yeah.
Um,
Like even when you get to 248, say that like you don't have any room when you get there, right? Knowing that you still have 255, but like hold on to 248 if and when you get to that number.
gotcha. Okay, cool. Regarding the duplex at 508/510 Clarence Street, this is the lease option deal. I just want to clarify the terms of the lease option that you want to do so we can get the offer out.
One more time for
Yep. It's 508/510 Clarence Street in Tomball. Try 510 Malachi. That's the way it came up on PropWire. 510 Clarence Street, Tomball. Yeah.
All right. One more time on this one.
Sure.
Yeah, give me a
So,
property one, yeah, please.
yep. Running through here, this is a duplex. They're both rented out, each side for 1750. They're on 1 year leases. The leases expire in mid 2027. Tenants are aware of the property being sold, but there's been no cash for keys discussion yet. He wants to see some kind of offer before he takes it any further going back and forth. So we are proposing a lease option until we're able to increase their market rent. The market rent is like 2000 or 2100, so it is
Mhm.
significant enough with the two units. My question is, as we're preparing the offer, what would we be looking for a down payment, the monthly lease payment to the seller, the term of the option, and then the actual purchase price for execution, the strike price?
Beautiful. We're gonna try to cash flow 300, ideally $400 a month. Like that's where I'm sitting at for the number. So wherever you are, PITI wise, um, mark us down $400 from there, and that's gonna be our monthly payment number.
Okay, can you say that one more time?
The whatever our PITI is on this property, right?
Hmm. So the PITI minus 400.
Minus 400. That's our monthly payment number. Down payment, what we're going to pay to them, cash the seller in order to close this, and saying 10% on securing the lease option at 10% of,
10%.
of the purchase price. Purchase price, good question. Not there
Okay.
yet.
And what term of option do you typically want to look at? Like 3 years, 2 years?
2 years on this one. Because I want their lease to be up, and then technically, like the only thing, if you copy what I'm trying to pull off here is cash flowing for a year, and then there will be no renewal of tenancy. It,
Right.
they,
Exactly.
they will be gone, and then I will
Yep.
have very, very low carrying costs for that period when I go back and ask them to, because what will happen is I'll let them go month to month. We'll still have some cash flow, and I'll go back and say, hey, look, tenants are now month to month, and I would like to renovate the property. But now it's going to be time to renegotiate. But we'll still be under this lease option, so I'll have a whole year practically to renegotiate while we cash flow. But
Okay. So the term on here is going to be 2 years?
2 years, 24
Two
months,
years? Okay.
24
And
months.
we'll work on figuring out a purchase price, a strike
Yeah,
price,
yeah.
and doing 10% down. All right. That's cool. But we don't get paid on that until the actual uh option is exercised, right?
What do you mean we didn't get paid on?
Well, as far as when we actually get the financing in place, is that when everybody makes their fees? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if that
mean,
makes sense. Like,
you're, when would
when do we see income from a transaction like this with a lease option
I don't
versus,
like the
some
money
other way?
to close it is going to be borrowed. So I'm going to borrow X amount of dollars and then some carrying costs for this property. Not necessarily carrying costs, but I'm going to pretty much borrow the money and the fee for this property.
So
And
it's not like we got to wait a year, I guess is what I'm getting at, like a year
no,
or
no,
two
no,
years
no,
until
no.
after the end of the option.
There's not going to be yeah, we're not going to wait a year to get paid.
Okay, okay. Sorry. That was okay, gotcha. So we just got to
Yeah,
figure out a purchase price. All
yeah,
right,
no, you're
perfect.
good. I'm closer to making it the loan balance. Because what are they listed? This is listed property. What is
It is listed. Mortgage outstanding I have here is 286.
what
Not
is
sure what
it?
that says.
Do we
Yeah,
have
pretty close.
for real list prices? Do you have list price?
Yeah. Asking price was 499.
Oh, they're tripping.
I just heard from the realtor today, so I know this property is still on market.
Right. Yeah, like that's not even a question. Yeah, I'm gonna say that the purchase price on this thing needs to be close to the what is owed. So I'm gonna say 300,000 even.
300? All right.
Yeah. And even if they want 40,000 down, I won't even be totally against that, but obviously that's gonna try to keep us at at 30 grand to secure the lease option for 2 years.
Okay, so just to make sure I'm clear in my head, 10% of the 300,000, right? So
Mhm.
30,000 down, and that secures the option. The lease payment is going to be PITI minus $400,
Mhm.
and then be over the course of 2 years, after which we exercise the option, pay off the property, and seller is out and done.
You got
Beautiful.
it.
Okay, I can sell that.
Good deal. Good deal. I know you can.
The
Uh,
the only other one I had, Malachi, was the one in Pineville here. That's that one, that historic Civil War property where the realtor is getting 6% commission.
God, yeah. What's that?
I know. I'm concerned about having that conversation with him because it is 6% in the contract with the seller. And so we're essentially telling the seller to come out of pocket with 3% of this.
Shit, we telling the seller to come out of pocket with 6% of this. I didn't sign
The
that.
whole thing. Okay.
Man, that's between them and them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
But so we're going to be 114 all in on that one.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Because that's, if you recall, that's what the total amount owed on the mortgage plus any
Uh-huh.
arrearage and fees and all that. It's 114. So
Yeah,
we're in at 114. Bottom line, end of story. What happens after that?
that's up
We
to
don't
y'all.
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a whole different thing. 6%.
Okay. Excellent. I'm all caught up. Thank you.
Solid. Yeah, good deal, bro.
We got a couple things going on.
Yeah, man. It's the pipeline's nice, man.
It's getting there. I didn't mean to hijack the meeting either. I'll go
No,
on.
you're good. You're good. The underwriting was due to be first. All right, all right, all right. So we, so Angel, something to talk about. 'Cause you asked about the turnkey properties. On turnkey, ideally, your like first number is going to be to try to go in at like 87, 88% of the ARV of the turnkey property, right? Now, that's still asking for a discount from where they are. Because most of the time, the list price is still going to be a little bit off from what the actual ARV is. And if they're listed at the ARV, then I'm still going to shoot them a shot of, okay, great. Y'all are listed at 30,000. I'm still taking my 88% chunk at this. You can go up to about 92%. After 92%, it's a little bit tougher to get financing. It's a little tougher for us to make money and them to get financing because we're trying to do both. But um, yeah, that's the simplest part of that is just making sure that if it's going to be turnkey, then we're still going to get a spread, but that spread is just going to be a discount of the ARV of the turnkey property. Not much changes. Not much changes. Um, so because we've done a decent amount on the strategy side of things, I want to kind of keep that going. Right now, the half cash, half financing conversation. I mean, John, you're probably going to live all the way through that experience of you're going to go to markets where the strategy isn't being used as often. And so it will be entertained just because it's infrequent. Now, that's a benefit to you, and also, you know, a little bit more like there's a hurdle to climb. I think the hurdle is like whether or not they like you. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think it's that simple.
Well,
That big,
not only that, but they have to understand it too,
yeah,
right?
that's a big
You
one.
know,
That's a big one, right? Their understanding of investments in real estate is definitely there's only so much that you can teach in one call, right? And
right?
and sometimes, whew, something to breathe out. Sometimes the realtor not knowing something and you knowing something will just immediately throw a wall up. And so because they don't know about it, it's so alarming or it's a scam or it's too much or whatever it is. But it is very difficult sometimes trying to educate a realtor who's
Hmm.
yeah, whose ego is in front of their learning. I'll say that. Um, yeah, because as an investor, like I'm done calling it creative financing over the phone. Because creative financing is a community of people, honestly, that use that term, right? So before creative financing, what was it? Because Sub 2 was here before creative financing, so was seller finance. These are not new things. So they're relevant strategies today. Now they're modern strategies. They're almost, something that most people are aware of, but it's strategic. It's strategic financing, if anything, strategic structuring of a deal, if anything. And you leading with, hey, this is just our strategy to buy, properties in general. It comes off a lot healthier than when you say creative. Because people hear creative and I don't know. I don't know. It's the same thing as hearing wholesale. The
That's
stigma,
true.
the stigma that creative gives. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to pull off, but I'm not, I don't want to hear about it. But hey, knowing that, hey, us taking over mortgages is just our strategy. Okay. I'll hear you out on your strategy as a company. All right. Totally different, like the same, but totally different approach and just the semantics. But because we're on first impression calls. All right. These people ain't done homework on you or me or BCAP or nothing.
Right, right.
You just jumped on the call. So it is important that you use the semantics that are going on in the side of their head the moment they jump on the call because here's your shot. Right. So yeah, you're probably going to live fully through that experience of there ain't many offers like that going on in that area. And so you're getting some entertainment for it. They're willing to hear it out because, I mean, you obviously
True.
over the phone, but there's a level of, well, shit, this could actually solve a problem.
Right, right.
If it clicks, it clicks. And once it clicks, it's tough to not to undo it, right? You're like, whoa, they came in, solved the down payment issue, is tax free. We still get the other money that they're looking for. So they end up actually getting their list price. Wait a minute. Right.
What's the catch?
Right.
It's,
Exactly.
it's too good.
So we want them to be on that side of like, what? Wait a minute. You tell me what you're actually planning on doing. Right? They do the deep dive. They do the analysis. Before you know it, they're on your team. You're like, okay, let's educate the seller now. I get it, right? Like
Hmm.
that's the sub two that got in Chicago. She's doing novations and regular wholesale deals, and she's like, I get enough of these seller finance and sub two situations. I just don't know how to work them. And so there lies the partnership of like, okay, I will handle all of what there is to do with these transactions and educate you through the process. Just bring them to me.
Sweet.
You can do the same thing, right? You can do the same thing with all the realtors that you talk to, like,
Hmm.
you know, because some of them, you know, we're even maybe like segue the conversation this way. When you're talking to the realtors, the elementary school level of do you have other properties is do you have other properties? That's the pocket listing conversation, right? You should be asking every realtor
Mhm.
that before you get off the phone.
Right.
Now, when I ask, what are you do, what do you do in your market? What do you enjoy doing? Like, what kind of properties are you actually closing on? I'll give you intermediate level, right? Of like, hey, okay, now I know what you do, even if it's just flips, or hey, I just focus on this, or I've done a few flips myself. Now, the next beyond this, forget high school, college level, just where we are, top of the top. Hey, are you doing these types of transactions? Right? Let's say these being sub twos. Yes or no? They say no. Amazing. Amazing. Because I know that you're still coming across these properties. There's no way that you're not talking to while you're on the phone people that have no equity or low equity, right? I know that you're cold calling those people as well. So knowing that you don't know what to do with those properties, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, next time you get one of them on the phone, why don't you just bring it with me? We can handle the transaction together. I will actually guide you through it and make sure you get paid in the process. Most people don't handle seller finance deals as realtors because they don't know when they're going to get paid. But I'll make sure you get paid. That's it. So not
That's
just
interesting.
do you have other properties, but hey, are you handling transactions like this? To the point of like you're leaving money on the table. Let me help you. Just with it,
That's wow.
right? Like, hey, if you're usually doing flips or you're usually working on turnkey properties, amazing. Keep doing that. I don't even. That's not even my forte. I focus on flips, and your turnkey properties cost too much for me. I'm not gonna make enough money. So I have this other avenue. I have all this. I buy like this, and if you aren't doing those transactions, knowing you're still doing volume, you're still making calls every day, you're still doing listing appointments, you still got clients. I mean, for all we know, one of these low equity scenarios is the perfect scenario for one of your clients that is buying a home. And they also had to spend less money and didn't have to qualify for financing. We just solved two issues with you. All I did was step in and say, hey, brother, I got you. Right?
I know.
I like that a lot. That is so much better than just asking, do you have pocket listings or something like that?
Right? That,
Specifically addressing what could be potentially a hole in their business that we can help fill and help ourselves at the same time.
like I said, I know you're coming across these properties.
That's
And
great.
I can say it exactly like that. You have to be coming across low equity scenarios out there. I'm seeing verbatim, right? So, hey, next time you come across one of those low equity scenarios, don't throw it in the trash, right? Because I know your CRM, you're like, fuck these. Don't throw it in the garbage, brother. Bring it to me. Either send me the address directly with the information, and then I'll let you know when I secure it. We can sign a JV agreement yesterday, right? Whatever makes you happy. Or I'll show you how to set the conversation up. Let me be the buyer. One way or another, there's some money for us to be like, there's some money for us to make. Because if I'm the wholesaler and you just make your transaction fee, hey, you never have to represent them. We just can make our money taking the properties down. They understand wholesaling, they just don't like to. All right. So if you set them up in a safe wholesale deal, here you are, right? They're gonna align with you and like, yeah, shit, let's wholesale some properties. Why not? But you just gotta lead the way.
Nice.
You gotta lead the way. Let them know, hey, I know that it doesn't feel safe out here, and wholesaling is some big, scary stigma to you guys, but we love it, right? Even sub two. Some brokerages are like they frown upon sub two transactions. And I say to those, Angel, I'm gonna meet you, man. Your background's some brokerages they don't like into sub two transactions because they feel like they get messy. And at the end of the day, the messy part is after the transaction happens.
Right.
So nobody's liable for that's like saying, hey, I sold you this house and then you decided to turn it into a meth house. Well, brother, all I did was sell the house, right? I didn't help with anything else after the fact. So it's the same thing. You can't hold me liable, or like even in the legally way of like you can't prove there was malicious intent of me subtoing this house because the person stopped making their payments. I can't force that upon someone. I can't. I couldn't make that call. I can understand it. I can empathize with it, but you can't say that it was fucking my fault. That's wrong.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so some of them don't like to do it. Some of the brokerages like to stay out of it because they used to feel like the transaction too messy, whatever. Um, at the end of the day, the best way to handle the transactions are just to communicate and vet the buyers and ensure that they're the right people. Um, I'm happy to do more of these kind of like what could look like partnership transactions with these realtors because Myra, Northern Chicago realtor, is like just living proof that it works. Like
Right. Right.
she's bringing me the deal. I have done no work for the deal. I have the paperwork, yes, but what leverage is there in that? Like, there's not much. Me personally, there's not much leverage in having the paperwork when ChatGPT exists. Like, and as a realtor, you could immediately ask your brokerage, "Hey, could we have an attorney draft these documents for me in order to get this deal done?"
Right.
Of course, they're going to ask for a cut, but the money's there, the resources are there. Um, so yeah, like going through the levels of how like yes, pocket listings is at the beginning, a partnership is at the end, right? So imagine now that's probably not an 8 minute call, it's probably a 12, 15 minute call for one.
Hmm.
But 24 of those is the reason that this model can work for you. Because
Right.
a quarter worth of building those kind of connections means that you don't have cold call anymore. You just work on deals. I promise. All right. I swear a while ago I could say, okay, I can just stay on my follow-up loop of my book of business and be okay. Because they all source good deals. They all consistently work. The only time that it would fall through is if the market has gone quiet. That's what happened with Chris Roloffs. He ended up buying a business because Lansing went very quiet as a market. He's gone elsewhere. Okay. So I either do one of two things. I replace Chris Roloffs with someone who is a hype realtor who is just wanting to close anything and everything and who's going to go to bat for all the offers. Or I just go to another area where the market is not quiet and just replace whatever that number is. I told you, John, like the idea is like, am I going to do a realtor should be worth at least $25,000 in assignments for you for the year.
Right. That. Yeah. Yeah.
Ideally, it's on a quarterly basis, but realistically, for the year, they should be able to do at least $25,000 with you in assignments, right? Again, an assignment deal. So if I'm just basing my yearly number off of how much money are my connections actually going to bring? That's why I tell you to like weave the connections as tight as you do because hey, if I get good numbers from this one person who's willing to go to bat for my offers, my types of offers, knowing that they're not always the ideal. Okay, that's somebody who I will always be able to work with, and somebody that when I'm having a tough quarter, I know who to go to. When it's getting tough for me to put out offers, or it's tough to compete, I know who to go to.
Mm.
Right, and so. Yeah, the connections, they will make you. They will make or break you, but they will definitely make you. Like I can't lean on it enough. As much as people talk a lot of shit about realtors, every dollar that I've ever made has been with another person.
Hmm. Wow,
I ain't never printed no money. So connecting, man.
that is nice.
But let's yeah, John, I told you I'm ready to send you some more leads because
Yeah,
it's just about that time. And and like that piece of conversation, the connections is a big part of it, right? I know that you are even going to have people that you transacted with that are not going to be your ideal book of business. That's fine. But while you're out there searching, who is going to be John's motherfucking Avengers? Who's John's Justice League, right? Who's
right.
your group? So you continue to build those. You'll do transactions along the way, but you're looking to build. Then so many. I was going to go basketball references next. 95 Bulls, right? Pick one, right? You want something, man. You gotta build something. So who are the people, right? And you should just be able to hit them by name. You know, such such realtor over in this area, such such realtor that does these kinds of transactions. I,
Yeah.
by name, right? So until we get there, keep running through these leads. Keep running through them, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that. I would say I've got two so far. It's
Mm,
not many, but I believe I've got two solid ones that will meet those criteria.
yeah, the goal is 30. When I say to you that yes, 24 connections a day, that's just so you have cash flow. 30 real connections for realtors. And I mean, like to this partnership level. Oh, add Myra to this list. I did not know that this was going to happen, but hey, here we are. Um, though, and like we can do multiple transactions together in the gear. 30 of those is your livelihood.
Mm.
I mean that with all the cells, white and red, in my body. 30 of the 30 real connections like that. Like I can call you, hey, you got a deal. Hey, I'm looking at this thing. Can you help me with this? However it works. They pick your phone up. They pick your call up. I remember one of the first things you told me that you had an issue with. You're like, man, these really just don't pick up the damn phone. The people that know you,
Nice.
man, it's shit. It may not ring. And they call you first. They call you, that's the big one. You now
Yeah, yeah.
inbound system. You are the beacon for deals, not the other way around,
Oh,
right? Performing the connections. How do I get that first 30? How do I get that first 30? Whether that's some of those are going to be people that you built up, some of those are going to be connections that you haven't even done a deal with, but every conversation you have is just golden. Speaking about your market, speaking about deals that you looked at, speaking about offers you put out. But who is that? Who is that 30? Those people, I swear to God, that is 6 figures per year right there.
yeah, yeah. Getting a better vision of what that high level overview, where's the finish line in terms of, making the calls and doing the things like that, what we do on a day-to-day grind, what's the goal? What are we trying to get to? And that makes an awful lot of sense. And that is something that, you may not see that vision right out of the gate, but
Mm,
once you've started having conversations, starting to build these relationships, and realtors are contacting you back, wanting, feedback and things like that, and we got some of that going on. Seeing the finish line right from the start, that's I think that's incredibly valuable. It tells you where the finish line is. What are we working for? It's not just the
mm.
dollars, it's to make it easier dollars. You know,
Precisely.
that's good stuff.
Yeah, man. No, thank you. And thank you for also trusting the process, man. You've been here, doing it. Your process teaches me things. Every time you hit any kind of bottleneck or ran into a wall or any sorts, I'm like, okay, no, I've done it. It works. What is it specifically John is having an issue with? You respectfully, or somebody else is going to have your same issue, right? It's not special. Who's going to run into this
Sure.
exact same
Sure.
wall that God did, right? So let's solve it, and then let's extrapolate everything that we can take from it to also help someone else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and then again, you're learning. Like I try to be selfish with every one of you of like, okay, what is it that you need to take from this moment? And dude, after hearing your calls, hearing you on the phone, you are definitely one of the best, easiest, smoothest connectors out of everyone, truly. And I
Yeah.
told you my one critique for you, right? Was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bro, you already know. I have to go back over it, but that change would get you closer to your 30 sooner. Just that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on it.
That is it, man.
I'm working on my happy face.
And some of it also may have just been like you were in such a hustle mode, right? And you
Yeah.
still are,
It
but
could be.
it leaves you so objectified to say, okay, get on the phone, I'm gonna get off the phone with this objective. I got everything I needed to, right? And so you don't slow down to any degree. Having a conversation with someone about the types of deals that they close requires you to slow down at least a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
right?
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So there is something in that where I'm like, I have the issue too sometimes. 'Cause I'm like, okay, I'm on training calls, lady, get off the phone. Happens, right? And it takes a second step to slow down and say, okay, they've already slowed down the conversation, meaning they're comfortable. It's
Right.
an
Right.
opportunity, right? When they have not, because you've been on enough calls now. Realtors will get your ass off the phone when they're ready. Right? They will not waste any time when they are not looking to be on the phone. Right?
That's true.
Anything from baking cookies to I got kids outside to I'm at a showing to whatever it is, they will get off the phone. So if you got a realtor that slow themselves down, quiet environment, brother, get on the surfboard, explore.
Mm.
Where can you take this? Is this one of your 30? That's really what you should be asking in this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this one of 30? And it's very personal. My 30 is not your 30, right? You may hate my realtors. Right? You may literally be like, I don't know how you can work with name the people because they're my 30. It's my book of business. It's supposed to be that way, right?
Mm.
Should someone else on the team be able to call on one of your realtors based on skill level, based on like being resourceful? Of course, but they may not enjoy the conversation, right? That's just it.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I gotcha. Yeah.
Who
Boy, that
wants you
makes
to
a lot of
work,
sense.
right? And yeah, I give you the ending keys, those doors, because I'm like, hey, I know you get it now. Giving you that information in the beginning, not to say that it steers you in the wrong direction, but overloading people with information in the beginning, one, just do the thing, just do the reps, just come and shoot the free throws and go home, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
For a while, we can talk about, why the hell we even shoot the ball this way. Now I provide every tool I provide you is like a light bulb, bro. Right? So,
Yeah. Seriously. It's,
right? So you're here now, man. I know you get it. I got a ton of confidence in you just in the process of like, dude, you just missed it. You have these little pieces that you're missing. These books. You read
mm,
these, you get it. You'll get it. Now
sweet.
I'm looking for John's 30. How do we get you there? But and this is like a conversation that'll happen next Monday of like performance reviews, yada, yada, whatever the track.
Right.
It'll be about this, right? Of you should have like in your head a metaphorical small book. Like, okay, I've just tagged another name down in this. These are my people I'm going to contact. These are the people I'm going to update on the types of deals that I'm doing. I'm going to make sure I got a bi-weekly call with these people, at least 5-10 minutes to just par, see what's up, see what's
Yeah.
going on, what are they looking
Yeah.
at. Let them know I'm doing commercial too. What do they see? All the above, right? And before you know it, man, you even got a whole goddamn private money partner because they like it, bro.
Wow.
That's how it works. That's how it works. Relationship development.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. All right, so you guys got any questions before we do anything else?
I'm good here.
Good deal. Good deal. Amazing. Um,
Just need that novation offer.
that innovation offer, he is not feeling well, and I don't know if Colleen knows how to put an innovation offer out. So I am going maybe to be the one to do that. Maybe to be the one to do that. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing it so you don't have to wait. And I need
Appreciate
to
that. He's anxious.
say what? If there's I don't think any info is missing from it, but I'll be able to. I'll just give it a second look and get the offer out.
Okay.
Um, Angel, you good?
Oh yeah.
All right, just checking on you, man. Um, so right now, from a strategy standpoint, main things I want you guys to like to make sure that we're good on. Um, Sub two is pretty straightforward. You know, the conversation for sub twos. I'm almost in a belief, not even almost, but the way that Myra brought me this sub two, when a realtor has decided that sub two is the way to go, the people just go with it. It's been my learning. Nothing can make a sub two deal easier than a realtor saying, "Hey, this is what you should do." And I believe the same thing with seller finance. And the one cool thing about seller finance is if you get a realtor that understands seller finance well enough, not only can they just work with you on those types of deals and bring them to you, but the realtor could end up getting a monthly check just
What?
in the same way, just in the same way that we do. Yes. The realtor, because their commission check doesn't necessarily have to be paid out at closing, could get a monthly check and accept that as their payment because it's a seller finance deal.
Hmm.
And so there are some very genius realtors out here that were trained by some very old school brokers out here that have acquired seller finance deals as their sales and have practically a salary of that they're being paid on seller finance deals.
They're annuitizing their commissions. Wow.
So I just gave you, I mean, like, just what a just cool day. All right. I just gave you the partnership conversation to have with these realtors, right? So just another beautiful glance into how you could be setting up your seller finance conversation and opportunities. Because yes, we cold call, but from the first day that you have ever talked to me, I've told you about how valuable these connections are. And it's because if I have now talked to you about, hey, look, now we know what kind of transactions we could be doing. We are now partnered together to try and drive transactions out of this market. And I'm like, hey, let's go and do some goddamn seller finance deals. And not so that we both get paid a ton in the beginning, but so that we do like 10 or 15 in the zip code. And then before you know it, there's 10 grand a month going to you, and there's 10 grand a month going to me. Because we both just did well on setting up seller finance deals.
That's not
Right.
bad.
So we are also paid overtime like the realtor during the period of the seller financing, right?
We sure as hell can decide to. And why not? Why not? We talk all the time about like stability, how we're gonna, getting paid, how this works.
Right, right.
Why not iron yourself in there too? Say, okay, a couple $100 a month. I don't own the property. I just have what I was gonna make is a $15,000 commission check paid out a little chunk every month over this course of time.
And you don't
You
have the huge tax hit either.
exactly. Now I am playing the long game. I am playing the wealthy game
Oh,
with what I have from where I am. So yes, and again, this didn't start from having this beautiful seller finance idea. It started because I had a deep connection with a realtor that allowed for me to go and place seller finance deals in the office of people that will accept them.
right. Yeah.
Now I have frictionless seller finance deals. I have friction. Brother, if I recorded the first conversation I had via sub two with Myra, she said, Malachi, I got this, I got this deal and the seller's going to accept it. That's where it was for me. She was like, already closed. Whatever I put in front of him, he's gonna sign it.
Jesus.
I don't need I can't build that kind of leverage over a phone call.
Wow.
I can, but she's already done it. Right? So in essence, it's just like, okay, that is what that's that I need to replicate that. Because yes, I can have perfect calls. I can have Kobe fourth quarter calls every day of the week, all the time. Great. But the performance I can have from a realtor doing all of the connecting, all I'm doing is coming in and closing the transaction, truly. And she's closing the transaction itself. I'm bringing the other side, closing, bringing the buyer. Some of those times it's going to be me. So in the coolest way, not only are these realtors bringing us just cash flow, but imagine we're going to do more deals and they want to do more deals with me via seller finance because I'm also going to be a part of paying that monthly check that they get. Every now and then, I'm going to buy one of these beautiful setups of a seller finance deal. Zero money down, now y'all on commission. Now the realtor gets paid fucking $400 a month. Dude, anybody would help you, right? Anybody can say, okay, well, how do we do more of these, right? So again, started with the connection. Didn't start because we know about selling finance. Yes, yes, but it started because you did so well at connecting with this agent on a level that they're like, shit, let's do some transactions together. It will take you beyond doing a couple of deals. It will take you beyond 10 grand a month because you will have an automatic 10 grand a month. Right?
Wow.
I got no choice but to do that. I got X amount of seller finance deals with Susie in Northern Chicago. So
That's good stuff, man. That's
one
good
of
stuff right there.
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's how finances are.
That's generational wealth.
precisely, precisely, right? 7 grand commission check or 30 grand seller finance over time during over the course of this period. And then you guys, they sell the house or refi or whatever, you end up getting a full blown check. Okay.
Yeah, don't you get like two more paychecks after that, whatever, right? When they close, when they buy the house, out, whatever.
If
Like,
and when they sell the house and you're in that seller finance deal, yes, you would
uh,
end up getting paid, right? So it's there's so many ways to set yourself up, and I say this because every time I have a strategy conversation, like yeah, you can say, okay, now I know about seller finance. Well, why the fuck do you know about seller finance? I'm gonna be honest. Like I speak to you guys like family, so honestly, how well do you need to know it, and well should you know it, and why? Well, because these are the opportunities they can set you up for. Sub two is the exact same way because it's this like there's this veil over it. People don't understand it. Like there's this big stigma behind it. Like it's not just taking over a mortgage. Knowing that why it's valuable. Sometimes you won't even close any sub two transactions. It's just an educational piece for me sometimes. Yeah, I've done those. I get them. Here's how they go. For Myra, look, man, if you're in Northern Chicago, there's so many operating businesses and opportunities and commercial opportunities, goddamn buildings for rebuild and gentrification in Chicago. There's certain places, John, you got one too, Colorado Springs. You get a connection in some of these places, hold on to them purposely, intentionally,
Yeah. Yeah. I contacted him today. He's my new best friend.
truly. And if there's a way, if there's a Zoom call moment or something like this for you to powwow and say, hey, look, these type of things I'm looking at, this is what I'm looking for, yada yada. I implore you to do those things
Yeah.
because and I'm telling you where it takes you. It brings you closer to the realtors. A lot of them don't have that many deep connections, to be honest. And I learned that through experience, right? A lot of them people that they have in their phone, their Rolodex, are just people that are trying to get a check out. Let me get another opportunity out of my realtor. So yeah, when I said something wild like, this business is numbers and relationships, I can say it's relationships and numbers because at the end of the day, my best relationships have gotten me my best numbers.
Makes
I can't.
sense.
That's not even a quantifiable thing. That's a duh. It's like, dude, like, right? Um, yeah, man. You guys are capable, man. Like, well, if I had to judge anything off of coachability or capability in this, or like whether or not somebody can do this, if I don't feel like they are genuinely capable of connecting with people or want to do that, or because it's something yeah, you can get good at connecting, but if you don't want to, or if you don't even have that like the natural talking ability, you won't make it. Because naturally, you don't even want to connect with people on a deeper level, right? You can't
Right.
put that in somebody. Right? Even me, I'm not a go out or person or anything like that, but I'm very good at this part. And whatever they call it, introvert, extrovert, however they put it. Yeah, I'm here, usually headphones like tunnel vision building.
Mm, mm.
But the deepest connections, getting, buddy buddy with people to get deals done, too. Um, Again, my connections are what has got me here. So yeah, man. You guys, that if there's anything to kind of take note of, yes, you have your micro scorecard, your KPIs, your things that you should be doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. If there is something as like your gold book, your little black book to keep scorecard of internally as well as yourself is like, yo, this is me chipping away at these 30 connections. You can call them lifetime connections, career connections, however you want to put it. But those are the ones that will take you, that literally are those are, that builds your salary. That's your yearly, are those 30 people. Everything else,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
go do transactions with random people who don't know you that well all the time. That's just how to practice. But that 30, successful, will make you successful. Say that. I don't want to get too in the weeds of doing calls today, mainly because I got James deal to sell, and so I got a bunch of dispo calls to make. And I got
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. And he's got another one in Colorado Spring. You got your deal coming up. When you guys have deals that hit the contract stage, I get to call him before we actually get there because I it's better to renegotiate 5, 6 days in and say, hey, I gotta, had to change of heart, change of thought, change of financing. Than it is 20 days in before closing 5, 6 days later, and then say, hey, look, we need to move the price. Um, so when you say a contract is about to hit a deal is about to hit the contract stage, I go and call buyers immediately and say, okay, well, what is it like? Even if we haven't bought it, even if we're not on the contract yet, what do people think of it? And so, yeah, John, I'm shopping yours as we speak, that Rockwall deal.
Nice.
I got to reassess that one and see if we would buy it, but it's a, it's a bought deal. Uh, but a decent deal nonetheless. Um, No, good call today, guys. Tomorrow we will have the 1 p.m. Like we'll be on normal schedule tomorrow. Today was a heavy day on goddamn these other deals, some motel and some other stuff. Um, but we will handle tomorrow. I do plan on having a couple new people on the phone. John, if you would like to have some calls tomorrow at 5 p.m., great. No pressure, but always
Okay.
good to get some reps in.
I always learn something.
Right, right. And then I'm also looking to assign some markets to you guys. And the way I see this is like, um, obviously you're going to get leads from all over the place, but there is going to come a point in time in which like there's going to be enough coverage that I'm going to want certain people to cover certain markets in certain cities. Um, and there's like as there's going to be teams that get developed, teams under teams, you become
Mhm.
a manager, teams underneath you. And so it definitely will get way very, very much regional based if once we get there. Um, Based on the LinkedIn being open, there is a like drove of I can't tell you how many people applied for the
Already?
yeah, yeah. That's
Wait, that just opened
yesterday.
today? Yesterday?
Yesterday, last night, give it that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that opened last night. I've had people watch video, acquisition, onboarding video, ask questions, get ready to the point of commitment. I have there's a drove of incoming individuals. All right. I'm definitely preparing for this to happen, but this is like, letting you guys know. I definitely would like you guys to be in place to, for some of these incoming people to definitely work underneath you in order to get some more deals done, especially because you already know the process, right?
Cool.
So yes, that is just something to be prepared for and note that is what's happening right now. I mean, on this is my LinkedIn right now. Just people,
Wow.
I've just new. There's more people that are consistently applying for this. So yeah. Now I'm going through all of these as we speak. Like I said, happy, look forward to it. Happy, fun, growing problems, growing pains. But yeah, man,
It's a
let's
good problem to have, man.
really is. It
All right,
really is.
that's what's up.
Um, do you guys have anything you want to say before we close out here?
No, I'm all good.
Good deal. Good deal. Good.
Just a reminder
Yeah.
for the Novation offer.
Yeah. Good deal.
That's all.
Current workflow. Gotcha for the innovation.
Hey, what's a good time to call these roaches? I get off at 4. I walk in the door at 4. I mean, my bad.
Um, to call your leads,
Yeah,
bro, call before 7:30.
I bet.
Call before 7:30. And if you call it in a metro market, you call up until 8:30, goddamn. I mean, like at Houston, Dallas, Miami, you calling where people don't go to sleep. A bunch of 24-hour places. Keep calling. Keep
Bet.
calling. All right. Yeah,
All
sometimes you
right,
on the phone with a Houston realtor late because I'm like, they're not asleep. You still hustling the same way that I am. Let's be real. All right. So it's not,
all right,
once upon a time the respect and it's rude to call people after 8 p.m. Not entrepreneurs. All right. You still work. Still salespeople, entrepreneurs, we're all still in the same game together, especially us as like representing clients. You're not
all
done.
right.
You're not done. Right. So you taking a call for your client at 8 o'clock is just you being a good representation of your client at the end of the day. There's nothing to harp about there. But
True. Yeah.
and then we also got text like once upon a time calling was the only fucking way, right? Or you paid. So at the end of the day, I still text you and say, hey, I just wanted to call. I know it's late. Okay, keep it moving. On to the next one. Emails work too.
And Malachi, I did have one more thing before I let you go here. Regarding that lease option deal, the PITI, is that something I would ask the realtor about, or are we going to calculate that, or can I get that from PropWire?
I would rather have the exact one,
Okay.
right? So I'd rather get it from the realtor. Is that the one that They said they would be willing to ask for a mortgage statement. They just didn't ask.
Yeah, he's the one that was like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, as far as having the cash for keys discussion.
Yeah, yeah. So let's do this. Let's give them all your terms and say, hey, I like here's where I'm at on everything I'm thinking vaguely.
So this would be a verbal.
I don't want you to do that. I just want you to set yourself up to get. I will get the mortgage statement without any hassle. Um, so kind of give them the blanket terms and say, the only thing that's missing is this our monthly payment number. I think that's an important number, right? I wouldn't want to see that as a sell, the person selling the property. I wouldn't want that to be missing. So, but you can do one of two things. You can set a conversation up and say, let me get, ideally I can get the PITI via mortgage statement, or I would like you to do that. The second option I was going to say was just say on the offer, PITI negative $400, but it's not going to work. It's not
I,
gonna,
I wouldn't think so. That's too vague.
no, no,
It's not a real offer.
it's not a real offer. So we need that number. So just kind of give him the terms and say, hey, we're ready to push this forward. I'm just missing this so that we can, be precise about the numbers. Given we can just move forward and sign if everybody agrees. Um, and so push that forward and say, can I get the mortgage statement? Given it's the last thing I need.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
I'll run it by him.
solid, solid, solid. And the prop wire one just won't be exact.
True.
Um, so like with prop wire, usually their payment is off by anywhere between 75 to $175. And then we were talking $400 spread, being off $175. That ain't helping nobody. And then usually the number that you see on the estimated balance never accounted for the down payment of the house
Hmm.
because the
I
down
notice that's always wrong.
it was never reported what they paid on a down payment. So all they do is take the start date of their mortgage and apply the payments on their estimated payment amount. That's PropWire's calculation. So I hardly ever and PropWire is to blame for this. PropStreams is the same way. They don't have a down payment calculator that they said, oh, they paid 5% down, they paid 10%. It's conventional. They paid 20%. They don't do that. It's the same thing. So it's all good. It's just why we need the statements or the whatever is going to help us get the actual information.
Okay. Yeah. I honestly, I don't think he's going to give us that mortgage statement. Um, but
What you can
it
do,
can't hurt to ask him, you know.
what we can do is just do on that line for monthly payment. Just put subject to mortgage statement. Same thing we do with subject to offers.
Oh, okay. So for monthly payment on the lease option, it's going to be subject to mortgage statement.
Yep. On the offer for that lease option in
Yeah.
that line for monthly payment, we're just going to put subject to mortgage statement.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank
That
you.
way, that way you can get the offer out. There's no vagueness. You don't have to have the extra ask. You've done everything you needed to get the offer out.
Good. That helps a lot. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's the only other thing I had here. I'm going to get this over.
good deal. And again, hopefully that just gives you either the mortgage statement or starts a conversation to get you what you need to
Yeah. Yeah.
exact
Yeah.
start. All good. All good. Solid, guys. Good day, guys. Good
All
chat.
right.
All right, man, we're going.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks much. Have a good evening.
Cheers.